Who or what is the divine as you learned from your experiences?
The divine or the God that I met is what I call Source. It is not humanoid at all. It has very, very little in common with humans. The way I experienced it was as this huge, alive, aware, conscious, loving, curious, creative energy field. And the energy goes out from a core and then, dissipates outward. It wasn't really like this, but the closest thing I can come up with as an analogy is the sun. There's a core on the sun, and then it shoots off all these gases, and then it has sunlight going out from it, into the universe. So it's kind of like that is the way I experience Source.
And you had mentioned in the first segment that you learned that you really are Source. We're all part of Source, aren't we?
We're not just part of Source. We literally are Source. And let me tell you the best analogy I can come up with on that. You know how a novelist has mental characters, the book characters, that they're writing novels about. And they carry those characters around in their mind. And they keep the personalities separate, and they keep the dialogue separate, and they know who's going to act and talk a certain way. All those characters are in their mind. You and I, and all the other souls inside human bodies are like book characters in Source's mind. There's only one mind, one consciousness, one self-awareness, and that's Source's. And just like how we can have dreams at night, and we're in the dream, and there are other characters in the dream, and we can, feel like we're interacting with those other dream characters and having experiences and talking and blah, blah, blah. The same thing's going on in Source's mind, or something similar to that, only on a far grander scale. It's all happening within Source's mind. So we are the individuality that we're experiencing now is like a novel character in Source's mind. And then, like at the end of my near-death experience where I said I woke up to the knowledge that I'm Source, once we realize that we're actually Source, having this like little imaginary character, the character disappears. It is absorbed into the greater knowledge and understanding and awareness of the whole of Source.
Would you say that we are the experiential extension of Source?
Yes. In fact, that's what it told me was the purpose of creating the universe, so that it could feel and have experiential knowledge of the many things that it could imagine, but could not directly experience.
And what is the meaning of life?
It's just that. It's so that Source can experience anything and everything it can imagine. Absolutely. Through us mental characters.
Absolutely. If that's the case, why do we die?
We don't die, the human bodies do, and they do because they're composed of physical matter, just like the rest of the universe. And everything in the universe, including the universe itself, is on a cyclical pattern. For many things, it's a birth and death pattern. For other things like the universe, it's an expansion contraction pattern. But that's just the way Source designed the universe.
Our physical bodies reside in a world of duality, good and bad, hot and cold, black and white. Why do we do that?
Because we are literally two personalities, two individuals, two entities in one body. Humans are manifestations, physical matter manifestations, like our dream characters. They all have the same innate character traits, which are all animal character traits. And then we, parts of Source's self-awareness, come and implant ourselves into these animal bodies, and we have a completely different set of innate character traits. And so you get this tension between, people characterize it as a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other. Well, that's almost literally true. It's the human is the devil. Not that it's always a devil, and it's not like we souls are always angels, but it's that huge dichotomy, that huge difference in personalities that creates everything as a duality, light and dark, on and off, good and bad, pretty and ugly,
Absolutely. And is there a point at which we stop coming back into these bodies?
Yes, we can choose to do that anytime we want. And we don't incarnate just into humans, When I got back my memories of all my incarnations, I had incarnated into all kinds of characters and creatures and plants and animals and gaseous materials and all kinds of things all over the universe.
And when you say all over the universe, are we talking in other planets, extraterrestrial?
Oh, yeah. Other galaxies, all over the universe.
So in essence, there's no limitation to where the essence, the source essence that we are, can incarnate.
No, not at all. Just it's whatever we want to do. And it's an individual choice.
So when we transition, when the body ceases to function, exist, we are given that choice every time?
We are the ones that decide whether or not we want to incarnate and how and when and into what. And yes, it's entirely a self-generated program of experience. It's, we're not assigned, or there's no karma. It's just whatever we want to do. Now, some souls, I should say, want to incarnate just to have certain kinds of experiences. I'd say the most predominant, quote, purpose of life, close quote, is to study some kind of aspect of the animal we're incarnating into, or the thing we're incarnating into. Like, we might want to study greed, and we know humans are greedy, so we may incarnate in humans over and over in different kinds of humans to experience what greediness is like from all different aspects of human life. Some people, or some souls who have incarnated a lot and have kind of gone through that process of studying, various themes of physical life, may come into a life, let's take a human life, just to be a support person for somebody else. Like, their sole purpose of living may be to love a particular soul that they're incarnated with and to help that soul get through its incarnation. Other souls that have had a lot of incarnations may come into a physical life just to do one thing. Like, somebody needs surgery, and this soul is there to be the surgeon in that moment in time, and that person they save in surgery goes on to be like the President of the United States, or, some influential whatever. It's, it's a mission to do a particular thing